Hello, my name is Sally Pinto, and I'm the Program Director for the Yonkers Newark Neighborhood Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. We serve seniors 60 plus in Northeast Yonkers. We are under the auspices of WJCS and the Yonkers Office for the Aging. We also have a resource specialist and a nurse on staff. We conduct virtual programming in partnership with the Yonkers Public Library on a daily basis. Enjoy the program.
So let's just jump right in right away. So as always, if you're just kind of getting yourself set up, make sure to grab any pillows or blankets or towels that you can use for props. So basically just thinking about anything that you want to use to just support that space between you and the floor. So let's start laying down today. So you can come all the way onto your backs. And as always, when you first get there, you can move around as much or as little as you need, just to start to settle in. And just start to check in with your body. You can do whatever you want with the arms and the legs. Just beginning to really notice and observe. You might notice if you're a little more open today, if you're a little tighter today, if there's any tender spots. So you can observe that. Bring a little kindness into those areas. Just remembering that it's a different day. It's a little rainy out. Things might feel a little bit more stuck. And then eventually starting to meet with your feet on the ground and the knees pointing up to the sky. So whenever you feel ready to get there, whatever you need on the way there, you can place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And just begin to close your eyes or soften the gaze. Feeling the back of your head connecting with the floor. Feeling your back body connect with the floor. Feeling as if the edges of your body are melting into the floor. Noticing the movement of your breath. Feeling the air move in and out. Waiting just 3 more rounds of breath here, settling in. 3 full inhales and full exhales. After your 3rd round of breath, start to windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Just adding a little movement here. And you'll pause with your knees back in the middle and bring your arms out into a T. And adjust your shoulders and your shoulder blades so that they rest softly on the floor. You'll keep your right knee where it is. And then just start to gently windshield wiper your left knee from side to side. So one windshield wiper is broken, but the left one is still working. You're just rocking it from side to side. And the next time the knee starts to point towards the right. So the next time your left knee falls in, just allow the knee to pause there. So still find a place where the foot is resting on the floor. You're just letting that knee drop towards your midline, towards the right side. You're not forcing it to go a certain depth. You're just allowing gravity to hold it in its place. See if you can begin to release and soften all of the muscles in the leg, even just a teeny bit more than they already are. Because your foot is still on the ground, your leg might kind of resist trying to relax because it's trying to hold itself up. So even if you can just let go just a little bit, just to allow that outer layer muscle to start to release. If there's any pain that starts to happen in the knee, just bring it back up a little bit. Just don't allow it to fall as far as gravity wants to put it. Always listening and checking in with your body today. Connecting back to your breath. I need one more breath here. As if you're moving in slow motion, just start to pull your knee back to the middle. You might find a little bit of that windshield wiper again. And you're going to walk your left foot a little bit closer to your right and allow your left knee now to drop out to the side like a butterfly. So this is a perfect spot to slide in a prop, a little extra support. You're still keeping your right knee pointing up to the sky, so it's okay if your hips kind of want to lean over to the left. You don't have to stop that from happening. And we can change the position of the head and the neck here. So feel free to keep your head where it's at or take your gaze over your right shoulder. Always checking back in with your breath. Can you come back and reconnect to your inhales and exhales? Maybe you play with the prop that you may have placed underneath the leg, either just moving it or taking it out, even just a little bit. Just allowing that leg to get even heavier. Just a few more rounds of breath here. Notice if you're still holding on anywhere. If you have your head over to the right, just nice and slow, bring it all the way back to the middle. Then as always, if you're moving in slow motion, just slowly start to lift the leg up. And let's right away just extend the leg long. It's okay if your leg feels a little heavy. And let's extend the right leg long as well. Give that leg a little break. Just observe here for a few moments. Perhaps noticing any sensations that differ from side to side. Perhaps your ability to let go might differ from side to side. Your last breath here. And you'll start to bend your right leg, your left leg. Take any movement you need from side to side, any movement you need when you arrive. So we'll begin to move into the right side. So your left foot is just going to stay planted on the floor. Start to windshield wiper your right knee, your right leg. So now your right one windshield wiper is working, but your left one isn't. And you'll eventually allow your right knee to pause as it starts to drop towards the middle, as it starts to drop towards the left leg. Now your sides might already be reacting a little differently just in this position because of the work we've done on the left side. But it also might react a little differently if you think back to how the left side felt when you first got there. You're welcome to keep your arms out into a T, or they can come into cactus arms. Anything else you'd like to do with them? Again, just a reminder, if there's any pain in the knee, and you just want to come out of that internal rotation of that knee dropping in towards the middle a little bit more. Always coming back to your breath. You might even be using your breath to kind of help you let go a little bit more. Few more rounds of breath on this side. Nice and slow. Start to bring the knee all the way back up to the middle. Add a little motion or just pausing in the middle. You'll eventually allow that right leg to come towards a half butterfly. So you can kind of walk that foot in a little bit closer to the left. Add whatever props you might need underneath your thigh. Again, that left leg is just kind of hanging out in space. If you'd like to add the head on this side, you can turn your gaze over your left shoulder. So whenever you're adding props, you're not trying to remove any of the sensation, but the intention of the prop is to let your leg, in this case, find a place that it can actually begin to relax. So like there's a point where I can slide this pillow underneath my leg so much that my leg doesn't need to do anything. And then there's also a place where I can kind of pull it out just a little bit, and I still am feeling sensation in the leg, but I actually can relax the leg a little bit more. And if I take the prop completely away, I just feel as if I'm tense and I can't let go of any of the muscles. So we're going for that Goldilocks. Not too much, not too little, just right. Almost there, just a few more rounds of breath. Start to turn your head back to the center. If it was over to the side, nice and slow, start to point your knee up to the sky, and eventually let the leg come out long. You can let the left leg go down to meet it. Anything you want with the arms. Just allowing the legs and the hips to get really heavy here. And then you'll plant your feet back on the floor and just roll over to one side. It doesn't matter if it's your right or your left, but just finding a fetal position for a few moments. You can use your arm as a pillow. If you have a blanket or a pillow, you can use that as a pillow as well. But the intention here is to just let some weight come up off of the spine and up off of the back. Let's actually keep this roll and just continue to roll all the way onto your belly. And again, you can use your arms as the pillow. You can turn one cheek to the ground. You can rock your hips a little bit when you get there. You can bend your knees and do a little windshield wiper, reverse windshield wiper. And begin to bring your right knee over to the right side. So the inside of your right leg is resting on the floor. And you can keep your upper body in any position that you'd like. So you can keep the arms in a pillow. You can turn one cheek to the mat. You can bring your arms into a T. Just finding a place where you can relax a little bit and where you can soften the upper back, soften the head and the neck. This position is kind of like a little bit like that half butterfly, except the support now is just on the inside of the leg as opposed to the outside. Now you can stay here with the knee bent. If you are so content and so happy right here, stay. Or you can start to straighten your right leg. So the knee is still over to the side, but you're just starting to straighten the knee a bit. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't get all the way straight. My knee definitely still has a little bend into it. When we change all the angles, you actually start to feel different sensations and can target different muscles and tissue in the body. So again, it doesn't matter if your knee is at a 90-degree angle, if it's 45-degree angle, or totally straight. And you might play a little bit with it, right? Like take a few breaths, move it a centimeter, take another couple breaths, move it a centimeter. You can often get a little further, just going one step at a time. Almost there, just a few more breaths on this side. If you straightened your leg at all, you'll just slowly start to rebend the knee. And then allow your right leg to meet your left. And just transition right into the other side. So just start to bend your left knee out to the left side. And we'll start with the bent knee, and I'll let you know when you can start to play with straightening it if that's what you want to do. Then you have the option here to maybe straighten the leg if you want to. So just start to straighten out the knee. It can be just a little bit at a time. Sides probably feel a little different, maybe a lot different. It's always being really mindful of where you're at. Always have the option to play with where you go. Last few rounds of breath here. And start to bend your knee. And you'll slowly bring your leg back to meet your right. Pausing there. You can rock your hips. You can windshield wiper the legs. Just begin to prop yourself up on your forearms. Coming into a nice, gentle Sphinx pose. So if you want less compression in your lower back, you can slide your elbows a little forward so your elbows are forward of your shoulders, or your elbows can be underneath your shoulders. You have to use a little bit of action just to keep yourself up here. And then just allow your head and neck to find a neutral position. Just a couple more breaths here. We're not here too long. And then slowly start to lower the upper body down. And again, it doesn't matter what side you roll to, but just start to roll back towards that fetal position. So it doesn't matter if it's the same side you did before or if it's the other one. And if when you arrive in your fetal position, you are just very content and very happy here, and you feel like your body can totally relax and release, I invite you to stay here for Shavasana today. Or you can go on to your back. You can continue to roll. And if you come all the way onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. Just give them a little rock and a squeeze. And start to find your way into your final Shavasana. Letting your legs fall out in front of you. Arms fall by your side. letting your body completely and totally melt into the mat in gratitude for your practice today. Shavasana. Starting to bring some awareness back into the space. Starting to bring some awareness back into the body. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Rolling out wrists and ankles. And rocking your head from side to side. Stretching your arms up overhead. You can take a full body stretch here. Then starting to roll onto your side if you didn't spend Shavasana there. Using the strength of your arms, beginning to press yourself up, coming into a comfortable seat and keeping the focus inside. Bringing your hands to your heart center, gently bow your head. Thank yourself for making it to your mat today, for your practice, for your energy, for your breath, and most importantly, for yourself. Namaste.
Hi, everyone. This is Z from Yonkers Public Library. Thanks so much to Sally Pinto and Alexis and Barbara from Newark. Thank you to our community partners, WJCS, the City of Yonkers Office for the Aging, Westchester County Legislator Ruth Walter, Friends of Crestwood Library, and Yonkers Public Library for making this phenomenal partnership. And we thank each and every one of you for being part of our wellness community. Be well, stay well.